This is the Alden Report.
All right. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Liberty Realty and Chris Blazak. Listen, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to get involved within the world of real estate investing, then you need to check out what the guys are doing over at Liberty Realty. Visit their website, liberty-rr.com. Again, it's liberty-rr.com. Again, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to invest in one of the hottest real estate markets in the history of real estate, then visit liberty-rr.com. Led by Chris Blazak with over 20 plus years within the world of sales and marketing. Listen, they go above and beyond for you, and they can help you buy a home, they can help you sell a home, but they can also teach you how to get involved in real estate investing. Lastly, listen, if you're looking to change your career, if you want to get involved in the real estate market, maybe you want to become a real estate broker, maybe you want to become a real estate agent, visit liberty-rr.com. Chris and his team are looking for motivated individuals that are looking to not only change their own lives, but change the lives of others, not only here in New England, but all over the United States. So visit liberty-rr.com. That's liberty-rr.com.
This is the Alden Report.
All right. Well, my name is Michael Alden, and I usually say we are here in Blue Vase Studios, but we're actually not in Blue Vase Studios. And by the way, I've done this before. I'm actually in my car right now watching my daughter play tennis. But this next podcast was so important to me that I wanted to make sure that it was going to happen. My next guest is just a rock star entrepreneur. He's also an author of a book that just came out called Building an Elite Organization: The Blueprint to Scaling a High Growth, High Profit Business. My next guest name is Don Wenner. He's the founder and CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital. His company has been listed in the Inc. 5000 for years. Wall Street Journal has him as one of the top 15 real estate firms in the U.S. To be a part of for how many years now? 5 straight years. Guy's doing amazing things. And I forget exactly how we connected, but I'm just so fired up that we did connect. Don, thanks so much for being my guest.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Really appreciate being here with you today, and hopefully that tennis game's not too distracting from our conversation.
No. It's funny, man. Like the match is supposed to be at 3:30 or 4 or 3. We're not really sure, and I'm one of those dads that I don't miss anything. And so, but I think I think we rescheduled once, and I'm just like, I'm not going to reschedule this with this guy because you're a busy guy. So we're going to talk a lot about your book, but man, so you built this company, a very successful company. But I'd just like to first start off with, tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you got involved in the whole world of real estate. Because you're in many facets of real estate, not just
I am, yeah. We like to think about it. We have about a dozen core operating businesses that make up the DLP Real Estate Capital family of businesses, but it certainly did not start that way. It started off in humble beginnings. I started off actually growing up in the lower middle class family. My parents had me at 16 years old and grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to a family. We bought our clothes at yard sales and made our Halloween costumes and, fought to make ends meet each month. And which was a really great, humble kind of a start to life. And but it created some entrepreneurial desire, at least that was a part of it. And ended up running, a lot of little small businesses through even my elementary, middle school, high school years. And in a 8th grade career day, a gentleman came into career day and he presented and showed that financial advisors made more money than doctors, lawyers, accountants, all the jobs your parents told you to become. And so I determined in 8th grade, that's what I was going to do. And I actually moved out of my parents' house in high school, supported my way through college, and I was set that I was going to be a financial advisor. Went to Drexel University studying finance and accounting, worked at some big companies like BlackRock, but we knew I wanted to be an independent financial advisor, be my own boss, deal with, world of wealth and finance. And That was until while waiting tables over the weekends, which is what I would do all through the weekends in college. A gentleman convinced me to come work for him, and his name was Nathan Robinson, or is Nathan Robinson, and he was in the ADT security business, and he convinced me to come meet with him one day. And when I went to meet with him, he convinced me that I would make $2,000 a week if I came to work in his alarm company selling alarm systems. And 19 years old, $2,000 a week sounded pretty good.
Absolutely, man.
So
That's a
I
lot of money.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, well, that it had me, and some reason I believed him, that I'd make that kind of money, and gave it a try, and it took off. And my first paycheck was $5,280. And I was making $6,000 to $10,000 every 2 weeks after that. Later, I found out that Nathan had never had anybody make $1,000 a week, let alone $2,000 a week. But I think because he gave me that expectation that was what was normal, I went and set my sights there and to exceed it. And so I was making really good money as a college student, selling alarm systems, and Nathan was also a real estate agent at Keller Williams Real Estate. This was the peak of the real estate market, 2006, and he convinced me I got my real estate license. I would do incredibly well, and I could sell alarm systems, I could sell real estate. So I pretty much gave up sleep for a few weeks. Got my license online. Right after I passed the exam, I flew out to a marketing conference, and I learned the concept of a direct response marketing and having a unique selling proposition. And from the first day I entered the real estate industry, my marketing message was, "Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it." And that month that I started in real estate was October 2006, which happened to be the peak of the real estate market. At least it was in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, where I was located. So it was a good time to offer a guarantee when the market was starting to slow down and turn. And so we were helping a lot of people sell their homes. And then we started stepping in and just buying people's homes who needed to sell quickly, and started flipping homes. And that was really the foundation of DLP. And over the years, as we would come across, various challenges, and we would look for, creative solutions, it ended up us evolving into then launching a construction arm to our business to service all of the homes we're renovating. And then in the bottom of the market, we decided to start building a portfolio of rentals, and we had to launch a property management arm to service that. And, we needed more capital. So we started offering investment vehicles to high net worth investors, private investment funds, and launched our investment business, our investment fund business. And, then money started coming in faster than we could deploy it and into our own deals. So we started lending money to other real estate investors who, back in 2014, it was hard to get access to capital. And so we became a lender. And so the business has evolved in those, in that manner over these past 15 years. We've grown by about 60%, or actually over 60% every year now for 15 years. And today we have an organization that's about 430 team members, employees, about $1.6 billion in assets, doing a few $100 million a year in revenue. And it's been a lot of fun, and we're, in many ways just getting started.
Wow, man. Again, I obviously know a little bit about your story, and it's just great to hear you, kind of tell it. I got so many questions, but I want to start with, so you start to kind of really get into the real estate world, and like you said, in 2006, which is the height of the market. And then 2008 happens. So, that's actually when I started my business, which is in direct response, but not in the real estate world. So 2008, I tell people I started my company in the worst economy in the history of the world up until now. Uh, right. So, but you were in the thick of really really why the world was crashing was driven by real estate. So what happened there? Did you have to pivot? Were there some really difficult decisions you had to make? I'm just curious what it was like for you, because it was only a couple years in.
Yeah, it was actually, as you said, it was a tough time to most, but it was really an incredible time for us to start a business. And there was a lot of distress, as we all know, which was challenging for the society as a whole. But it created a lot of opportunity for those who were willing to look at the challenges the market were facing from a different perspective. And so, as an example, back in 2007, even, we started, talking to home sellers who owed more on their home than it was worth, and just kind of came in with it with kind of no preconceived notions, no real experience, and just thought there had to be a solution. And so started calling banks, and trying to negotiate to take a reduced payoff. And that was before banks had short sale negotiation departments. And many would tell me that you can't do that, it doesn't exist, banks won't take less than's owed to them. But we were determined, and we started finding banks who wanted to talk with us, and especially in 2008 and then in 2009. But we would deal with so many realtors when we would explain it to them what was happening, explain, yes, you can submit an offer on this property, but it's contingent upon the seller's bank accepting the offer, because it's going to be a short payoff, meaning the bank's going to have to take less than what's owed to them. I would deal with realtors and even attorneys who would tell us that we were making it up, that this could not happen. They don't understand it. Why does the seller's bank have anything to do with this? But we just, continue to try to educate people, continue to try to help people who were upside down be able to get out of these homes. And it turned into us, negotiating and handling short sales all over the country. And it was very, very difficult, especially in the beginning before these banks started putting the resources in place. And we continue to grow our guaranteed sale program, Your Home Sold Guaranteed or We'll Buy It, which was a message that resonated with a lot of people. And then we expanded to offering a immediate cash offer for those who couldn't even wait to sell through the market because they literally were in such need of selling quickly. And so, all of these things were certainly challenging at the time. Being able to execute on these guarantees and be able to come up with the capital and so forth was certainly not easy. But there was just so much need, so much distress, so many people looking for help, that if you're willing to approach it from a different viewpoint, it was an incredible time. And not to mention, it was an incredible time in terms of being able to help a lot of people. It was also an interesting time that, we were going through some heavy times of unemployment, and so it was a great time to acquire talent and create, new opportunities. And that was one of the things that, looking back, was pretty unique in our beginning days, is we were willing to hire from the very beginning and look to bring great people in, and understand that was going to be required for us to be able to grow, is we needed great people in the organization. And so in many ways, it was a phenomenal time, and didn't get used to it being so easy. If somebody came into real estate sales today, you'd think it was the easiest job in the world in many ways, with every home sells with multiple offers. And so it was a good time to learn really how to market, learn how to differentiate yourself, learn how to differentiate the homes we're selling. It was a really exciting time to start a business, from my viewpoint.
So, you mentioned, the short sale, and again, the classic entrepreneur, trying to find, the silver lining or find the solution to the challenge. Was a short sale a thing, or did you guys, were you literally part of the, like, pioneers as far as creating the short sale? Like, did that exist before 2008?
It didn't, as far as I know. It didn't exist in most contexts, and I won't take any credit that we invented it or came up with it. But I'll certainly say we were on the cutting edge of it, and we were, in many cases, the first short sales being done by many of the banks and institutions we worked with. And we and a number of other, kind of, cutting edge sales teams around the country, certainly we're in, beginning stage of figuring out how you go about it, how you document it, how you put the package together, how you figure out, get the valuations done for the banks, how you communicate with them, figuring out how that works. And I think in many cases we were instrumental in helping these banks learn how to structure these short sales and how to go about processing it. So it was a crazy, interesting time for sure. But many quickly, there was no other option. Many banks quickly started putting the resources around it. And I should say, quickly, meaning, once, kind of a few got on board, it started taking momentum, but it certainly took, probably 2 years longer than it should have to get rolling. But then, a lot of resources and, government support, came in behind it, putting these, these programs into place.
Wow, man. I am going to call you a pioneer. So maybe you won't, but it sounds like you were definitely there on the forefront, and it's pretty awesome. We're on with Don Wenner. He is the CEO and founder of DLP Real Estate. He's also the author of his first book, and it's such a great book. It's Building an Elite Organization: The Blueprint to Scaling a High Profit. Uh, a high growth, high profit business. If you'd like some more information about Don, you can go to dlprealestate.com. But also, if you'd like some more information about his book and the systems that he talks about in his book, you can also go to dlpelite.com. That's dlpelite.com. The book is also available everywhere. It's available on Books A Million, Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble. He's doing some great things. He just launched it, and I think there's really some innovative stuff in there. So again, if you'd like some more information, you can go to dlpelite.com, or you can also go to dlprealestate.com.
All right. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Liberty Realty and Chris Blazak. Listen, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to get involved within the world of real estate investing, then you need to check out what the guys are doing over at Liberty Realty. Visit their website, liberty-rr.com. Again, it's liberty-rr.com. Again, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to invest in one of the hottest real estate markets in the history of real estate, then visit liberty-rr.com. Led by Chris Blazak with over 20 plus years within the world of sales and marketing. Listen, they go above and beyond for you, and they can help you buy a home, they can help you sell a home, but they can also teach you how to get involved in real estate investing. Lastly, listen, if you're looking to change your career, if you want to get involved in the real estate market, maybe you want to become a real estate broker, maybe you want to become a real estate agent, visit liberty-rr.com. Chris and his team are looking for motivated individuals that are looking to not only change their own lives, but change the lives of others, not only here in New England, but all over the United States. So visit liberty-rr.com. That's liberty-rr.com.
So, your book talks a lot about systems and processes, and it sounds like a great thing because your career, in that kind of fateful moment when you learned the business from ADP, because a business like that has systems and processes in place, that the reason why they can just take teams and deploy them all over the country, and then BlackRock, of course, I'm sure. So tell us a little bit about why processes and systems are so important when you're scaling and growing a business.
Yeah, great, phenomenal question, Mike. So as you said, the book Building an Elite Organization, the subtitle is The Blueprint to Scaling a High Growth, High Profit Business. And growing I believe, strongly that we live in, the greatest time in history. We live in the land of opportunity. And for those who are willing to go out there and seek knowledge and learn and grow, there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur, to launch a business. But it doesn't mean it's easy by any stretch, and it's certainly not easy to be able to grow in this incredible global competitive world that we're in today. To be able to grow profitably and consistently, it's very, very challenging. And what I find is, I'm and anybody, I would guess, listening into our podcast here, are going to be individuals who want to learn and want to grow and want to get better, and people who, listen and read books and go to podcasts and are constantly trying to gain new knowledge. It is great as again, never been easier to get access to knowledge and learn and grow. What can be challenging is there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much sort of noise out there. There's so many incredible thought leaders out there and books out there. And, I've been reading somewhere between 2 to 4 books a week for, last 15 plus years. And I do that mainly, listening to them on Audible, but you listen to all the greats, right? And you listen, if you're really focused, you're trying to grow a business, you listen to one book and it tells you the key to success is all about leadership. And another book tells you the key to growing a successful business is content marketing. And you listen to another book and tells you the key is, systems and process. You listen to another one, it's about, management. Another one, it's about having clear strategy. And, And there's all these great books, and all of these thought leaders in their own right, in many cases, are incredibly intelligent and are right in much of their content. But what I think a lot of people run into challenges, if you go and put all the focus and energy around, marketing or sales, but you operationally can't handle it, you're not going to grow a consistently profitable business. If you have the best processes and structure in your organization, but you don't have enough clients, revenue, leads, opportunities, all those processes aren't going to help you. If you put all your focusing on hiring and developing leadership, but again, you don't have the business, again, you're not going to have a successful high growth business, et cetera, et cetera. You get the best strategy in the world, but without execution, doesn't go anywhere. So way I think about it is every organization, and we've now run about 20 different businesses and across various industries, many around real estate, but a number of others as well. And what I found is all businesses have 4 quadrants, which are strategy, people, operations, and acceleration. Acceleration means sales and marketing integrated. And in order to grow an organization that's going to grow year over year and do so profitably, you need all of these quadrants growing together, a part of one unified plan, and a plan that's centered around discipline. And to kind of steal a quote from Jim Collins, great organizations need disciplined thought, disciplined action, and disciplined people. And with all the noise and all the information, all the ideas out there, being able to pull it all together into a cohesive plan that you can execute on, that has the structure around it, that you can take a really entrepreneurial, fast growing business and put just enough organization structure that you can continue to be entrepreneurial and grow and try new things and be innovative while keeping the wheels on, while being able to increase profit margins, while being able to grow and develop your leadership, while being able to have enough structure on how you deal with communication and prioritization, to be able to keep your execution growing as the complexity of a business grows, while being able to not have too much structure that you become bureaucratic, while being able to understand and have a clear purpose and mission, and know where you're going, and have everybody in the organization, despite a rapid pace, understand where you're going and see it clearly and be able to get behind it. Doing all that at the same time is very challenging. And unfortunately, despite so many great ideas out there's been very little done to really provide a clear, cohesive system to execute and grow. And that's what the book is about. Is we call it the Elite Execution System, which is a full system to how to execute on those 4 quadrants of a business at the same time and grow year over year. We've grown 60% annually year over year while growing our margin every single year. We're the 4th fastest growing company in America last year out of any companies that have made the Inc. 5000 5 or more times. We've been on the list 9 straight years. I don't say that in any bragging mode, that's just the effect of putting discipline in place. It's not always in a lot of people's ideas, they don't become entrepreneurs because they want discipline in their business, but discipline and structure is actually what frees you up and allows you to change industries, to do creative things, and challenge the status quo. So it's been a lot of fun, and we've been as much fun as it's been growing our organization, helping many other organizations implement the Elite Execution System and get very similar results has been just been an absolute blast.
Yeah, you're talking about the things that I think a lot of entrepreneurs overlook, which I refer to as the non-sexy side of business, right? Right? People, especially again, we in this Instagram world that we live in, everyone loves to see the results, and they love to see the cars and the Rollses and the houses and all these other things. But what you're talking about, again, you use the word discipline, you're talking about systems, you're talking about the 4 quadrants and how they're all working together cohesively. That is really the essence of any business in any industry, right? You need all of these things, firing on all 8 or 12 cylinders, depending on what kind of car you're driving, right? You need all these things working properly, but you also need someone at the helm that's the captain, right? That is, that is able to kind of direct the traffic, so to speak, and that's you, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm the founder and still I'm the CEO of our parent business, and across each organization is still very involved today in all 12 of our business units. But the way I think about it, and this is, really critical it's been very critical for our success, and is I'm not, many entrepreneurs and many organizations are built around that person at the helm. And many people, when they think of, a CEO, they think of, the Steve Jobs, right, of the world. And they think of this, charismatic, incredible leader who, visionary. And many entrepreneurs, that's kind of how they see themselves, and they see themselves, and ultimately they become, time tellers. And what I mean by that, and this is, this concept comes from Jim Collins as well, is they become time tellers, where nobody else in the organization can know what time it is, other than that charismatic, incredible CEO. They're the only person who can tell time. They're the only person who can tell which way we're going, who can give the answers, who can solve the problems. And as much as organizations grow, many CEOs will complain and be frustrated that they're the only person who can make decisions and are driving all the major results. The reality is that they build this culture and this environment because that's really what they want. They like the feeling of importance and significance that comes from being the person with the answer, being out in front all the time. And to build a truly great organization, you have to be a clock builder. You have to be able to build other people capable of telling time, and that's the real test of a great leader, is the ability to develop other strong leaders who can operate without your individual drive every day. And I understand that our job as leaders of organizations, certainly as CEO, is first and foremost to serve, and to develop leaders within the organization capable of running their department or part of the organization without my day-to-day involvement. So I certainly have put a lot of positive pressure on our organization, and I'm still very much a driving force to what we do and have been. But we absolutely have incredible leaders throughout the organization who deserve a tremendous amount of the success that we've had over the last number of years.
Wow, man, dude, you are what we would say from Boston is wicked smart. We say here in Boston. Hey, in a second, I want to talk to you about how your systems and what your book is doing for other organizations. You kind of briefly touched upon that. So in a second, I want to talk to you a little bit about that and how you're helping other businesses in pretty much any industry. We are on with Don Wenner. Don is the founder and CEO of DLP Real Estate. You heard him say it earlier. His company has been ranked by the Inc. 5000 9 years in a row. He's also been recognized by the Wall Street Journal as one of the top 15 real estate firms in the United States. He's also the author of the book, Building an Elite Organization, The Blueprint to Scaling a High Growth, High Profit Business. If you'd like some more information about Don or his company, you can go to dlprealestate.com. And if you want to pick up the book, which I would highly suggest, you can go to dlpelite.com, and you can also find the book pretty much everywhere else, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. But I would really encourage people to go to dlpelite.com because you can learn not only about the book, but also the systems that Don is talking about, that he shows people how to implement within their own business. And that leads me into like kind of this next part of the podcast, Don. So tell me a little bit about how you've taken the things that you've implemented in your business and to have that, that year over year growth, and how you're taking these systems and applying them to other businesses.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Love to. So, our business revolves around really two sort of main sides to what we do. So one side of our organization is helping high net worth families, hardworking individual families who built a level of wealth over their life, and want to invest that capital in a place that can generate solid, replace their income, generate and help them grow their wealth, et cetera. And that's what a good amount of our organization is focused around. And then the other side of our organization is we're deploying that capital that's invested with us with real estate operators, developers and builders, and helping them by lending them capital as well as investing equity with them. And as we started investing capital with lots of high growth entrepreneurial real estate centered businesses, what we quickly have learned over the years is that usually when there's problems with a real estate investment, and I believe this is the case not just with a real estate deal or company, but with most any company. But when it comes to real estate, very seldom when a real estate investment goes bad, very seldom is it because of bad real estate. Very seldom is it that simply the operator bought a bad piece of land or bought a bad property. Usually the problems come down to execution, and they struggle to be able to execute, especially actually, believe it or not, when they're having success. So somebody starts having success growing their business, and they start taking on, in this world, more real estate investments, and they start needing to hire more people, and they start covering a bigger geography, and they got more going on. They start struggling to really execute and handle it, and all of a sudden, then they start, running into problems, and they start making mistakes, or their people start making mistakes, and they get themselves into trouble, and that's what leads to them getting into financial challenges and going to default and so forth. So what we learned years ago was that what these real estate operators needed more than anything else, more than capital, was a help in being able to handle scaling their business, especially as they started having some success. And we realized if we come in and help them put the elite execution system into their organization, it would help them grow faster, which means it's our main business is deploying money. We could deploy more money, invest more equity with them, provide them with more loans. And so not only would it help us to be able to grow faster by providing them with more capital, it would also reduce our risk in investing capital with them, because the chances would go down dramatically that they would run into problems if they built a really disciplined organization. So we've been doing that for the last quite a number of years, helping real estate operators, developers, builders put the elite execution system in place and having just incredible results. I mean, we can say here with confidence right now, the elite execution system is creating hundreds and hundreds of jobs on a monthly basis with our real estate operators we invest capital with alone. And it's been tremendous for us. And then, as we've grown our organization over the last number of years, we implemented and started our own foundation called the DLP Positive Returns Foundation, which is where all the proceeds of the book go to. And when we started, having more money in our foundation, and that we put in from the revenue of our organization, we put some of that capital into our foundation every month. And as that money really started growing and becoming meaningful, and we wanted to make a meaningful impact on the causes and organizations we supported, we also started realizing that a lot of nonprofit organizations needed help in running their nonprofit as a business, even more than for-profit businesses did. And so we started helping the nonprofit organizations and ministries we work with implement the lead execution system, able to then in turn make a bigger impact in their ministry. And it's just been an absolutely incredible experience. And through the book, which just today, Mike, I'm excited to say, is the #1 book on all of Amazon. I just found out right before I jumped on this podcast, which is pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. So now what it's allowing us to do is expand our reach from real estate operators, developers, builders, and the nonprofit organizations and so forth we support, and then just other businesses that we have relationships with, to a much broader base of organizations. And I think considering 30 to 50% of jobs in America today won't be here in 10 to 20 years due to automation, due to technology, and I don't think that's not a scary thing to me. That's not, oh man, what are we going to do? We will solve the problem. We will create lots of jobs, but that's going to come through small businesses. Governments don't create jobs, small businesses do. So there's going to be a tremendous need for many small businesses to be able to capitalize on this new economy and changing world we're in. And we're excited to be able to be a part of that and help these entrepreneurial companies be able to put the necessary discipline in place to scale and create jobs and make an impact.
Wow. As I listen, to you speak, and you'd mentioned Jim Collins earlier. He's just a great author, and you'd mentioned that you listen to 2 books a week. One of the things that I've heard, kind of the isms throughout the years, is they say that the best experience is the experience of others. Is there one particular book, or is there one particular mentor that you've kind of kept along the way, or someone who really kind of guided you and to show you the way?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll start by saying in my book, I reference a good number of books that have been influential to me and to our organization, to our success, and I want to be quick to give credit to those deserving it, as what we've really done in our book. Certainly, we created a lot of custom tools and systems and applications to a lot of the great ideas that have come before us, and put it all together in an organized manner that somebody can truly plug and play and be able to start having positive effects and growing the organization, sort of tomorrow. But we've taken the, many great ideas from Jim Collins, as he said, and, his best book, in my opinion, is Great by Choice. But many phenomenal books, Turning the Flywheel is his most recent. It's actually a little monogram, and it's kind of strategy in an hour and a half. I mean, it could be a whole master's program. John Maxwell, I believe, is the true forefather of leadership, and believe the best book on leadership is The 5 Levels of Leadership, and has been influential to me. The 4 Disciplines of Execution by Sean Covey has been really impactful as well. So I have a hard time picking one. One of my favorite books is called Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson, and we've run a book club here at DLP for 12 years now. We call it Driven for Greatness, and we read a book together as an organization every month, and a different leader presents on it. And learning from the great leaders out there has been just a phenomenal way to expand your knowledge base, and been incredible. People like Robin Sharma and Hal Elrod, and just go on and on and on. But I can't say I've had one individual kind of mentor, one person that I attribute the most to, but there's been many incredible people. And what I find in podcasts like this, Mike, are just incredible opportunities. You find that the people who've had tremendous success in any areas of life are generally people who are willing and want to share and want to help others, especially others that they feel are really going to put things into action and will really be able to grow their impact. I'm in an organization right now called 100X, and it's through the Halftime organization with Bob Buford originally, and Lloyd Roberts runs it now, is a good friend. And 100X is about being able to make 100 times impact on your platform, and is something that is a great opportunity to be able to do. And through that organization, I get to work with many just incredible people from a financial standpoint, many multi-billionaires and people who are running very large organizations and have had tremendous success. And what I find again is just many are so willing to share, and I'm always looking to learn, and recognize that every gift and every bit of knowledge and ability I have comes from the Creator, and is a blessing that was given to me, and that there's many talented, incredible, smart, accomplished people out there that I'll never know too much or be too above learning from. And I learn new things every day, and learn often from the most unlikely places and people, and it's really what gets me excited every day.
Yeah, there's so many things to unpack what you just said there, and it kind of comes full circle to what you had mentioned earlier about all the different facets of a business and how they all need to kind of work together. There's not one particular division or one particular person or one particular thing that makes a business successful. And it sounds like that you've obviously have led your life that way, where you are getting bits and pieces from all different viewpoints and different perspectives, and you've kind of taken the stuff that works for you and implemented it in your life, man. And I just can't stress enough that what Don is saying, if you're listening right now, or you're maybe watching it on YouTube, the things that he's saying are the things that work. These are the things that I've learned when I was in law school, when I first kind of read some of my first success books, and the stuff works, right, man? Like you're not. I don't believe that people are necessarily born. Dan Coyle from the Talent Code talks a little bit about this. I don't necessarily believe that people are born with a particular talent or edge. You hear prodigies and you see that stuff, but he kind of dispels that a little bit. A lot of the stuff you have to learn it, right? And you have to implement it. And it sounds like that's really been really kind of your path, right? I mean, faith is a big thing. We could talk about that too, but it really is the experiences of others and just really internalizing it, right?
Yeah, agree. And I just believe, one of I mentioned before, our book club, we call it Driven for Greatness, which is actually going to be the title of the book I'm writing now. Driven for Greatness, thriving in an elite organization. And, and how we describe in our organization, Driven for Greatness, really means, we say it's not as sexy, but what it means is seeking knowledge. And if you're willing to learn and humble yourself and learn from others and constantly be curious, it is just unbelievable, what you can learn. And when you have an open mind and are wanting to learn and follow just some of the basic principles, like, I believe strongly in the law of attraction, right? Of kind of what you attract to you and you think about and you put your energy around, will come into your life. And it's just amazing when you see it happen again and again and again. So there's never been an easier opportunity. I don't know the exact stats, but it's something like, there's more information and data, created every, month today than in all of history. It's just the amount and volume. And that can be the hard part at times. There's so much information out there, and being able to disseminate and decide where you're going to focus your time and energy. But I can tell you, focusing your time and energy on listening to podcasts like this versus, watching cats play the piano, right, is a step in the right direction, in being able to learn and improve yourself.
All right, man, that's the first time I'm going to disagree with you. I say if you have a choice between learning something that's going to make you great or watching cats play piano, I'm going with cats play piano. Man, listen, I'm just, super excited that we got connected. And man, just listening to you, it's really remarkable what you've done. But when you hear how you've done it, you've worked extremely hard. You've learned the lessons, you've internalized them, and this is what it takes to be successful, and this is also, these are the types of guests that we bring on the Alden Report: real people doing real things, building real businesses, and having an impact as well. I mean, Don is, you've heard it, he's really covering the gamut with success in business, but also giving back, not only to his employees, but the community. And man, it's just really, really amazing. Look, if you'd like some more information about Don or his book, you can just go to dlpelite.com. You can also check out his website, dlprealestate.com. Right now, it is the #1 book on all of Amazon. And as someone who markets books, I know what that means, because we've done it several times as well. But it doesn't happen with a book that doesn't really have an impact. So if you do want to pick up the book on Amazon and continue to support that book, the title of the book is Building an Elite Organization: The Blueprint to Scaling a High Growth, High Profit Business. Don, man, it's really been again an amazing time for me. I'm literally here right now. I mentioned earlier, in my car watching my daughter play tennis. I know that Don works with his kids and coaches as well, and family life. We didn't even really get into that, but family life is also so important to both of us. And but I told him, I'm like, man, if you don't mind, I'm going to do it from my car if we can. And I just want to thank you. I just really enjoyed listening to you and learning from you as well. This has been another edition of the Alden Report, the second one I've ever done from the car in 6 years. My name is Michael Alden, and that is Don Wenner, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Liberty Realty and Chris Blazak. Listen, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to get involved within the world of real estate investing, then you need to check out what the guys are doing over at Liberty Realty. Visit their website, liberty-rr.com. Again, it's liberty-rr.com. Again, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to invest in one of the hottest real estate markets in the history of real estate, then visit liberty-rr.com. Led by Chris Blazak, with over 20 plus years within the world of sales and marketing. Listen, they go above and beyond for you, and they can help you buy a home, they can help you sell a home, but they can also teach you how to get involved in real estate investing. Lastly, listen, if you're looking to change your career, if you want to get involved in the real estate market, maybe you want to become a real estate broker, maybe you want to become a real estate agent, Visit liberty-rr.com. Chris and his team are looking for motivated individuals that are looking to not only change their own lives, but change the lives of others, not only here in New England, but all over the United States. So visit liberty-rr.com. That's liberty-rr.com.